This is Boxing Talk 8576 coming at you with another video. Shout out to LDBC community. This video is a response video to Zone 6. And I know 78 already responded to it in Blood Boxing. The greatest died with the greatness died with the greatest. And is referring to Muhammad Ali that passed away a couple of days ago. He coined himself the greatest of all times, and he went out there and tried to display it, with the competitiveness in him inside the ring. He understood that to be great, you had to challenge yourself. You had to meet the challenges out there. You had to step up to the challenge, and he did constantly. Muhammad Ali, when he won the heavyweight title, and at that time he was the youngest heavyweight champion, he had beat Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston was a menacing champion. Sonny Liston, dominated a lot of fighters back in his day that were great fighters. And Muhammad Ali, beat him rather easily both fights, stopped him on the stool, and it became the undisputed youngest heavyweight champion. And then later in his career, after he did and conquered so many other milestones, he fought George Foreman, another menacing heavyweight that was destroying everybody in his path, and Muhammad Ali stopped him. So Muhammad Ali understood, man, to be great, you have to go out there and challenge yourself. And a lot of these fighters nowadays, they're just not doing that. Everybody's finding a way out of a fight. Everybody's finding a way out of a challenge. Let me put it that way. And they'll find any little thing to get out of a challenge. In my book, they will bring up the money situation. They will bring up the gloves, the ring size, the mouthpiece size. They will bring up the weight and all this crazy stuff to get out of a real challenge. Another fighter knows when a real challenge is out there. He will do just about anything to get out of that challenge. Like say for instance Canelo and whole GGG situation. They offering GGG 70-30 or 80-20. GGG is not gonna go for that. His team is not gonna go for that. So that's like a fake offer to say, well, you know what, we offered him the fight. He didn't take the fight. So he's ducking Canelo. No, he's not ducking Canelo. Y'all, what De La Hoya did was price himself out to fight intentionally. So he can say, well, Canelo tried to fight him, but he don't want to fight. See, stuff like that, that fake stuff. And to me, the only guy really of the last 20 years that displayed, and was an undisputed champion was Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins was an undisputed middleweight champion. And he defended his title multiple times over a 10-year period. I mean, multiple times. All comers in the middleweight division. He even fought guys like, he fought Trinidad. He fought Esther De La Hoya. He fought, Jermaine Taylor. And Jermaine Taylor at the time when Hopkins fought him, Hopkins was already 40 years old. I believe he was already 40 or close to 40. And Jermaine Taylor was an up-and-coming middleweight. He did not have to fight Jermaine Taylor. He did not need to fight Jermaine Taylor. And no one would have had any qualms about him not fighting Jermaine Taylor, because at that point, I believe Hopkins had already 20 title defenses of his middleweight championship. So no one would have said, if he would have bowed out and not fought Jermaine Taylor, he could have, but he understood Jermaine Taylor was that next big thing. Hopkins said, no, let me challenge myself against the next big thing, and let me see if I can overcome that challenge. Now, he didn't win the fight, and they had a rematch. He didn't really rematch either. But the fact of the matter is, he went out as a champion should, challenging himself, going out on your shield. If you go out on your shield and you did your best, and people know that you put forth and wanted to try to meet that challenge, people will endure you for a lifetime. But they will not endure you if you go out there and you try your best to get out of a challenge. And we don't need statistics. We don't need numbers. All you have to do is just look at these guys and how they carry themselves and how they get out of fights, and how Danny Garcia father say, why is Sean Porter and Keith Thurman fighting right now? They shouldn't be fighting right now. They should let the fight marinate. Why let the fight marinate when they both in their primes? They should supposed to be fighting. You supposed to fight when you're in your prime, when you're at your best, so we can see who the best is. I don't want to see Keith Thurman and Sean Porter fight after Sean Porter got knocked out twice, or Keith Thurman got knocked out twice, and now they're torn up type fighters, and now you want to see them fight. No, I want to see them fight at their best, so I can see who's the best. That's how you discover who's the best. Let these guys fight now. What are you marinating? And as far as people say, well, these guys, you need a long time to build up a pay-per-view. No, you don't. Because guess what? If you fight a guy that has a name recognition, or if you fighting a guy that's people deem that are great, or are threats to you, if you go fight them, guess what? The money's gonna be there. The fans clamor for certain fights. We know that, and the money is gonna be there. These guys need to fight often. See, that's the problem. People only fighting 1 and 2 times a year. They trying to do the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, fight twice a year. No, these guys need to fight multiple times a year. I mean, these guys have no reason. When people say, "Oh, look at all the supplements and the technology," fighters nowadays are better than fighters back then. Those guys didn't have the nutritionists that these guys got now. Okay, then why in the hell did those fighters back then fight multiple times in a week? Now, you mean to tell me, okay, modern medicine is better now? The guys are using better supplements. They got better training regimens. Okay, why are they not fighting more often then if that's all true? I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't buy none of that crap is because the guys back then had a tougher mentality. Their mentality was tougher. They had a different mental structure. Mentally, they were tougher. These guys nowadays, they want to be cuddled. They want to be pacified. That's why when you interview them and you ask them a tough question, they start crying and, why you asking me this? Why you hating on me? See, that's why that word hating come from. When people say, oh, you hating? No, because they don't want to take the scrutiny that comes with the BS they putting out there, because they know that they are trying to whittle their way out of a challenge. So they say, oh, you hating on me. No, man, it's just you're not taking the challenge that you supposed to be taking. I know this. But, some boxing fans don't know that. But I know that these guys are Canelo. I know Canelo. I know what you're doing. You're trying to minimize Triple G so you don't have to fight him. That's what guys do when they want to meet a challenge. You know what I'm saying? You try to minimize the other guy. And Triple G tried to minimize Andre Ward when he said he'd fight anybody from 154 to 168. And knowing good and well that Ward was right there at 168. How can you go fight Carl Froch at 168 and Chavez Jr. at 168 and not want to fight Ward? You know Ward is there, and Ward is considered the best at 168. See, you see what I'm saying? So these guys nowadays, man, like Zone said in one of his videos, is so true. I am taking everybody off my pound for pound list. My pound for pound list is going to be made up of other fighters of other eras that were great undisputed champions, guys that displayed the heart of a champion, that went out there and met challenges. And for order for these guys to get on there, they're gonna have to do the same. They're gonna have to have the same criteria. The same criteria. I'm not giving nobody. I'm not giving Keith Thurman. I'm not getting Sean Porter. I'm not getting none of these guys. Carol Brook. None of these guys. Any passes. You have to do what the great ones did to get on that list. And Keith Thurman, you say you want to be the undisputed welterweight champion, you have to prove that. After this fight, you have to go after Carol Brook or one of them other belts. You have to start lining up these belts. That's what you said. That's what you said your mission was at 147. I just want to see that. I believe you have the talent to do it. Let's see if you have the mental capacity to do it. This is Boxing Talk 8576. Shout out to LDBC. I'm out.